6'7", 182-pound sophomore. And Jack Lopez, number 31, rounds out your starters for the Montana Grizzlies. 6'2", 198-pound senior from Florence, Montana.
Well, a very good group. If they've got a liability offensively, they have trouble scoring in the paint and in the post. Fabian Krasklovic is an outstanding defender, rebounder. You won't find a guy who plays harder in the league, but he has a real hard time making them go in and around the basket. He only averages 7.5. But I tell you what, watch him work on defense. He is one of the best post defenders I think I've seen in all my years of being involved with college basketball.
Coach, let's look at the Idaho Vandals as they get set to take the court. Kind of begins and ends with Victor Sander. 21 points a game, 3.5 rebounds a game. This is a kid that, from a scoring standpoint, has really kept Idaho going. He doesn't get a lot of help from the scoring from Idaho. He kind of has to carry that load from a scoring standpoint for the Vandals.
Well, they lost a potential all-league point guard in Perion Calandret early in the year. That's about 6'3", and it's really had an effect on them. It's taken them a while to rebound and kind of get that backcourt established. They really play without a true point guard.
So Victor Sanders, we mentioned, coming into this ball game, averaging 21.5 points, and he can really fill it up from the outside, a 44% three-point shooter.
We had 28 in Idaho's win at Montana. Oddly enough, these two teams split the conference home and home series. They both won on each other's home court.
And the other player, only one other player for this team averaging in double figures, Brayon Blake from Seattle, Washington, averaging 43% from the field. He's a 10.5-point scorer.
And he comes off the bench. He's their second leading scorer, leading rebounder, a junior college transfer from North Idaho College, but he seems to be more effective and more energetic when he comes off the bench.
All right, we're ready to get this thing going. The Montana Grizzlies and the Idaho Vandals, the 5 and the 4. Numerically, this should be our best game of the day, but you never know when these two teams battle what you're going to see here.
No, I anticipate great rebounding, great half-court defense, and great guard play in this game. These two teams met last year in the semis. Montana eliminated Idaho State in a game that Montana, much like North Dakota did in that last game, came out and shot lights out, 65% for the game, and then they lost in a very close game to Weber State. Weber State, of course, last year's conference championship.
All right, watch BigSky.com. Thanks to all of you who are listening right now, as we should have a fun one. A lot of, as you would expect, Coach, a lot of Montana fans have made the trip down here to Reno, Nevada to see their team play. Vandals well represented as well.
Remember, Idaho and Montana, these are two of the original Big Sky founding schools. There was 6 back in 1963. Idaho left the league for about 15 years. This is their 3rd year back in the league, and it's good to have them back.
Nate Sherwood set to tip off against Montana. Idaho will control the tip as the ball is quickly handed over to number 11, Victor Sanders. Keep an eye on this young man. He'll score in bulk for this Vandal offense.
Look for both teams to kind of hang their hat on their half-court defense.
Down low to Sherwood, post-up shot, up and in. And McCurchin is able to get the layup to get Idaho on the board early on.
Really nice half-court set play. A great first possession for Idaho. Great entry pass or post feed by Victor Sanders.
Left wing, Montana's going to reset the offense with Rory looking to get in the lane. Pull up 3, shot up and good. Ahmad Rory scores quickly for this Montana Grizzly team.
I told you, expect great guard play. Ahmad Rory, the transfer from Oregon, was last week's player of the week, the last player of the week of the year. He got 50 points in those 2 wins at Weber State and at Idaho State.
Ball goes off the foot of McCurchin, so Montana has the ball underneath the basket, will inbound. Quickly handing it off to Rory, and off we go.
Idaho State tried to go right back into the post. How they scored their first basket. Montana did a pretty good job of defending that in the post.
Into the lane once again. Shot up, blocked away. And here comes Victor Sanders quickly down the court for the Vandals.
Victor Sanders is not a true point guard, but he'll end up handling it a lot.
Nate Sherwood buries the 3, the 6'8" player with range. And Idaho up 5-3 early in this one.
2 baskets, 2 assists by the great guard Victor Sanders.
Into the lane once again. Shot is up and good. Michael Aguine with his first bucket.
I talked to the Idaho coaching staff yesterday. The whole key to this game is exactly what you just saw, is try to defend the paint off the great dribble drive penetration of the Montana guards.
Idaho. Victor Sanders back around to Chad Sherwood. Sherwood back to Sanders, cranks the 3, falls down, won't get the foul, and doesn't get the shot to go either.
Pretty well defended by Aguine. Aguine gives away a couple inches, but a pretty good perimeter defender.
Montana working the right side of the court, now swings it back around. Aguine into the lane, can't get the shot to go, goes out of bounds. It'll stay with Montana.
Well, once again, Montana just attacking that paint, maybe more than any team in the league. And in a little bit, they'll bring in Walter Wright, last year's second leading scorer, who's 5'10". They'll play 3 smallest guards together, and it's like a cavalry the way they attack the paint.
Rory on the left wing with 5 seconds left on the shot clock, has to get rid of it. Baseline 3 or baseline drive ends up in a turnover.
Good rotation on the backside by the Idaho defense, Nate Sherwood.
Post down low, McCurchin, turnaround shot, off the glass and good.
Katie McCurchin coming off a career high 21 points at Southern Utah. And again, you can expect Idaho to pound it into the paint. You can expect Montana to dribble it in the paint off that small guard lineup, attacking from the inside out.
Montana and Idaho. Idaho with an early 7-5 lead. Montana's able to tie it up. Good post move by Chris Lovick, lays it up and in.
Chris Lovick played alongside of Martin Brunig last year. It was a great compliment. Bruning, a terrific post scorer, transfer from University of Washington. A lot of the inside scoring has had to fall in his lap this year, and he's not a great scorer.
Victor Sanders nearly loses the ball, but is able to dish it off late for a 3-point shot attempt, and Sherwood knocks it down. Montana with Rory out to the outside. Swing it over to Aguine into the lane. Layup attempt is blocked. Montana with the offensive board, but they're going to call a travel on Chris Lovick down low.
Well, Scott, I have always said the game, everyone plays small ball now. Everyone plays off the 3-point line. You still got to play the game from the inside out. And you're seeing 2 teams, every possession, the ball has gone inside, either into the post like Idaho's done, or off the dribble drive like Montana's done. But both of these teams playing what I call north and south, not east and west, and playing off the 3-point line.
Fun game to watch so far. Idaho with a 9-7 lead over the Grizzlies. Left wing. Cross-court pass. Sherwood down low. Layup is up and in. And once again, McCurchin with the layup.
The old-fashioned high-low there. A great pass by Sherwood into McCurchin, who, as I said, coming off a career-high 21, has been hot early on.
Pull-up shot is a 2. They said Rory had a foot on the line. And Idaho's lead cut to 2, 11-9.
Rory at 17.7.
Ball stolen away. Layup and up and in off the turnover as Walter Wright into the ball game lays it up and in for the Grizz.
Well, I'd called this a few minutes ago. Walter Wright coming in off the bench. Montana now playing with 3 smallest guards.
And another steal, back-to-back steals. Shot at the glass, up and good, and a foul. Ahmad Rory, back-to-back steals, and Montana has roared back to take the lead at 13-11. 15:06 left to go in the first half. Great basketball here at the Reno Event Center.
Sometimes I get a good feeling. Yeah.
It's 2.
I get a feeling that I never had before. No, I get a good feeling.
The Sky Conference has a new app. Search Big Sky Conference on the App Store and Google Play and download the new free Big Sky Conference app. Watch live conference events, connect with Big Sky social media accounts, and access premium exclusive content. The Big Sky Conference app, now available for free on the App Store and Google Play.
(13-11) is our score. Montana on a 6-0 run, and they'll have an opportunity to push it to a 7-0 run with a free throw still to come as the Grizzlies forcing turnovers, coach, and getting to the rim and finishing at the rim.
Well, as soon as they inserted Walter Wright, the 5'10" guard from Waterbury, Connecticut, they went to their 3-guard lineup, and it paid big dividend for Travis DeCure and his coaching staff. Turned 2 steals into 2 layups at the other end, and a 6-point run by Montana.
Victor Sanders, who had his pocket picked twice, is now over there kind of kicking himself a little bit for allowing those 2 fast break opportunities. But they'll get back after it here with Montana and a chance to take a lead in this game. Currently leading this game 13-11 with an extra point still, or with a free throw still to go.
Well, Victor Sanders is not a true point guard. Like I said, when they lost Perrion Calendret, that has really had an effect because Victor Sanders is used to playing the wing in the 2 position, not bringing it up under pressure like that.
Nearly turns it over again. Ball goes out of bounds. It goes off of Montana, but boy, they are harassing him to no end.
Well, I'm really surprised Idaho has not come up with a big and given him a ball screen in full court and help to relieve a little bit of that pressure. It's pretty tough when you're a 6'5" wing player. There we go. Now we've got a big guy up there to kind of help him a little.
Foul on the shot, or excuse me, away from the ball. As the Grizzlies lead by 4, 14-11, and they've gotten this lead thanks to a smothering defensive pressure.
We'll give a lot of credit to Travis DeCure and his staff, knowing that could be a really big tool in their favor, pressuring Victor Sanders full court.
Victor Sanders driving into the basket, draws the foul. He'll have one more, or he'll have a couple free throws.
Katie McCurchin for Idaho, 4 for 4 from the field with 8 of the Vandals' 11 points.
Lines up the free throw.
Victor Sanders almost an 80% free throw shooter, 79%. Boy, he's had an outstanding year, averaging 21.6 for the season. He raised his average, Scott, by almost 3 points once league play started, up to 24-4. To me, that's a sign of an outstanding player once you get to your league and your scoring average goes up, not down.
Makes both free throws, cuts the lead to 1, 14-13 with 14:43 left to go here in the first half.
Idaho starting out from the field much like North Dakota did in the last game. 5 of 6, 83%. Their demise has been turned it over. 3 turnovers that led to 2 layups at the other end.
Montana slowing things down a little bit here offensively.
Idaho's jumped into their 2-3 matchup zone.
3-point shot won't fall for Ahmad Rory. And Idaho with the rebound. Victor Sanders trying to drive into the lane. Swings it back over to McCurchin. Down to Sherwood. Sherwood then posts up. Rayon Blake. Blake post up. Shot. Push shot. Off the glass. Good. Good moves from the big man from Seattle, Washington.
Garfield High School, Rayon Blake. I can remember when the Idaho staff signed him. Boy, they thought they had really gotten one, and he has not disappointed them. Second leading scorer, leading rebounder on their team.
Walter Wright crashing into the paint, draws the foul. Montana will inbound. Down by 1, 15-14 with 13:49 left to go here in the first half.
Boy, does Montana attack that paint or not? Every possession, they just put their head down and drive it. Trayvon Allen, the freshman point guard, into the game now for Idaho. Kid that started 11 games as they tried him as a Band-Aid in that point guard position.
Bobby Moorhead dishes off down low, and a driving layup by Walter Wright, who has really made a difference in this ball game early on. Snow College transfer, making his presence felt, giving Montana the 1-point lead.
Well, Walter Wright was preseason first 5 all-conference pick, and they just kind of succumbed to some bigger, more athletic guards who've had great years, but he is a very powerful and explosive player off the bench.
Great post-up pass leads to a layup for McCurchin. Montana now trails by 1 to Idaho. 3-point shot missed, and here comes Idaho with the board. Quickly down the court for the Vandals, Trayvon Allen from Lapwai, Idaho. That's a good high school basketball team up there in Lapwai.
Always score a lot of points. They're really entertaining to watch. Really an up and down the court type program, and has been for probably 3 decades.
See, I thought I'd get you on Lapwai high school basketball, but you know your stuff. I had many of my alma mater teams get knocked out of state playoffs by Lapwai. 17-16, Idaho leads Montana by 1. Montana's got the ball.
Idaho's 4th turnover.
Cross-court pass. Bobby Moorhead with 3, can't get it to fall. Here comes Idaho quickly the other way. Layup into the lane, they're gonna go offensive.
Rayon Blake probably doing something that he shouldn't be doing, taking the length of the court like a guard. Credit Montana by recognizing that and getting there to pick up the charge. Bobby Moorhead, the kid that just took that last shot, did a terrific job of guarding Jeremy Singland last Thursday night, I'm sorry, in the D Event Center, holding him to 1 of 7 from the 3-point line.
Ball was actually kicked. Officials didn't catch it. Goes out of bounds. It'll stay with Montana regardless. 17-16 the score. Montana trailing by 1, but with the ball. Inbounding underneath their own basket. Ball stolen away by Idaho. Trying to go coast to coast. Layup and in. A steal and a layup. Pat Ingram going coast to coast.
Kid from Indianapolis who played 2 years at Trinity Valley Junior College.
Grizzlies with Saeed Pridgett into the game. Works it over to Rory. Rory tries to drive, loses the handle, gets it back, dishes low, and the layup won't go for the big man from Montana. And Idaho quickly in transition.
Idaho having a lot of success in their 2-3. It's a Syracuse matchup is how they're playing this, but it's really limited Montana's guards' dribble penetration now.
Sherwood posts up, shot up.
Travel.
And he traveled.
No,
offensive.
Foul. Kind of led with that shoulder. Second offensive foul in a row now for Idaho. We've got a heck of a game, folks. Come on back. 19-16, Vandals over the Montana Grizzlies.
What makes a Big Sky champion? Is it toughness? Is it competitiveness? Is it community? Is it achievement? Or is it sportsmanship? All these attributes live in the heart of a Big Sky champion. We're the Big Sky Conference.
At the University of Idaho, we believe a good education should be available to everyone. It's at the heart of who we are as Idaho's land-grant university. We work tirelessly to explore ideas that help our community, our farmers, our engineers, and our industries. We research and develop ideas that matter to our state, to our world, and to you. Because an educated society is good for all of us.
Fun start to this one. Idaho leading Montana 19-16 with 11:44 left to go here in the first half. As the turnovers have been key for both teams. Idaho's turned it over 5 times. The Grizzlies have turned it over 3 times, but both teams able to generate points off those turnovers.
Yeah, Idaho, unbelievable, shooting 8 for 9 from the field, 1 of 2 from the 3-point line. If they could hold on to the ball, they would have, I think, a comfortable lead right now. But again, credit Montana, that quick-handed guard line of theirs, and but Idaho is executing to the nth degree in their half-court offense.
Montana inbounding. Ahmad Rory crossing the timeline. Slowing the tempo down a little bit. Gets a screen from Pridgett, then hands it back to Pridgett, who gets into the lane. Needs to dish it back to Rory. Rory cross court over to Walter Wright. Wright, he drives. Back to Rory. Into the lane. Ogine tries to finish, can't get it to fall, and Idaho at the board. And they're going to get Ogine for putting his hand in the cookie jar.
Idaho really helping himself, though, at the defensive end rebounding. 6 to 2 on the glass right now. Idaho with no offensive rebounds. Montana with 1, but Montana not getting many second chances. Idaho doing a good job of getting to the glass. Montana really small in their lineup now. Or they were. They took Pritchard back out. With Pritchard in there, they played kind of a 4-around-1.
Pat Ingram into the lane. He tries to get it to fall, and it does. Friendly roll on the push shot, and Ingram's got his 4th point of the first half.
Ingram, big, strong body, 6'2", 200 pounds, and a senior. He played in this tournament last year and was lost to Montana in the semifinals. He's really helping the Vandals here in the first half.
Chris Lovick hands into the lane. The number 5 can't get the shot to go. Walter Wright had a good look, doesn't drop. Into the lane for Idaho as they try to push quickly going the other way, but some contact on the far sideline and they'll slow things down. Chad Sherwood to a cutting Pat Ingram, who then dishes off to Blake, who can't get the 3 to fall.
Nice draw kick by Ingram there. Blake had a wide open look at about 16, couldn't make it fall.
Montana working that left side of the court, swings it back around to the right. Walter Wright with 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Into the lane, pulls up, but has the ball stripped away. Idaho in transition. Blake, coast to coast, throws it down. And Montana quickly coming back. Idaho's got a 7-point lead, 23-16.
And Idaho's got it done at the defensive end, them turning the tables for Montana.
Rory's 3-point shot attempt is blocked. Idaho in transition and gets the layup. Trayvon Allen gives Idaho its largest lead of 9, 25-16.
10-0 lead stop by Idaho, led by a couple of steps from their guards, turned into layups at the other end.
Here you see more transition opportunities from Idaho, and coach, they're all coming off of turnovers here.
Well, Idaho's half-court defense has, since they've been playing a little bit more zone than man-to-man, it has kept the Montana guards out of the paint. They're doing a nice job of mixing their defense, and it has been really, really good, and they're all over Montana on the glass right now.
Idaho 25-16, an 11-point lead. Again, we've reached the midway point here of the first half, and the Vandals feeling pretty good about themselves right now, coming in as the 4 seed. And nobody had been playing much better basketball than this team coming into the tournament. As we mentioned, they've reeled off 9 out of their last 11, including 4 in a row coming into this tournament.
And the last 2 coming on the road. Both these teams coming off road sweeps in the last weekend of the season, and that isn't done very often in the Big Sky. Going on the road and winning 2 is a tall chore in this league.
So Montana with the ball, down big early. Turnaround look, hook shot up and in. Good look from Chris Lovick.
I thought he got away with the travel there, and so did Don Verlin, the Idaho coach.
Idaho quickly shooting the 3 the other way, and Chris Sherwood knocks it down.
Nice little play there. They brought both bigs to the elbows. One got the catch, the other one screened for Sherwood, but that wasn't an easy shot. Sherwood shot that with a hand in his face.
Montana down by 12, 28-18. Good offensive rebound. Got to get it out of there or take a shot, one of the two. Camped out in the lane, finally gets rid of it. Three-point shot from the left wing is up and good as Brandon Gfeller knocks it down.
Gfeller's a guy who has made over 200 three-point shots in his career. He is chasing Kevin Criswell, who played for Larry Kraskowiak, at 218.
Blake will shoot a three, and he'll make the three.
Blake having a big game.
Another
7
three,
points.
another three the other way. This one won't fall for Gfeller. Victor Sanders, who averaged 21 points a game, has been plagued with the turnover bug in this game.
Well, Ahmad Rory has been a big reason for that. He has been into him. Anytime he's put it on the floor, he's really pressured him.
Sherwood can't get the three to fall. Here comes Montana going the other way. Down 10, 31-21. 7:23 left to go here in the first half. Ahmad Rory, number 14, picked up there by Victor Sanders. Seven seconds on the shot clock. Ball's going to go nearly out of bounds. Poked back outside for a three-point shot, and it is missed. And Idaho with the ball, down 10.
Gfeller is the guy who, or I think it was Moorhead who let that one go. Gfeller had just hit one from that exact same spot.
Ball on the court. They're going to call a foul. And we have a timeout. 31-21 on the with 6:47 left to go. You're listening to Big Sky Basketball on WatchBigSky.com.
The Big Sky Conference has a new app. Search Big Sky Conference on the App Store and Google Play and download the new free Big Sky Conference app. Watch live conference events, connect with Big Sky social media accounts, and access premium exclusive content. The Big Sky Conference app, now available for free on the App Store and Google Play.
People confuse nice and kind, but they're different. Nice tells you what you want to hear, but kind is honest. This bar is made with cranberries and almonds. So guess what? We call it Cranberry Almond. Give kind a try.
Idaho with a 10-point lead over the Montana Grizzlies. We expected this game to be up and down, Coach, with some defensive pressure, and so far that's what we've gotten in this game.
Well, Idaho on a roll offensively. Of course, their defense leading to the offense. They've hit 4 of their last 5 shots. Montana in a drought now. 2 of their last 12. Idaho's turning that defense into very good offense at the other end. 13 of 16 for 81%.
So Idaho will inbound on the near side. Victor Sanders, who's been harassed defensively by Montana into a few turnovers early, inbounds the ball.
One of the things I always look at, and they bring the stats around, is offensive rebounding. And Idaho with no offensive rebounds, but they've only missed 3 shots. There hadn't been a whole lot to rebound.
Idaho leading by 10. Sanders with a long 3. Rattles out.
I tell you what, Ahmad Rory has done a great job on Sanders. I don't know that Sanders has had a clean look yet. Only 2 points for the night. 0 for 2 from the field.
Ahmad Rory running the point. Down low. Ball's going to go out of bounds off of Idaho.
Terrific post defense. Both these teams are very defensive oriented. You don't see many easy baskets. The easy baskets have come off of turnovers that lead to baskets, but neither team has gotten a lot of easy baskets at the half court.
They're going to get Montana with a walk as Jared Samuelson picked up the foot. and he gets called for the travel.
Gerald Samuelson, a big 6'7" freshman from Billings. Both his dad and grandfather played at University of Montana. I coached against his dad. Dad was an all-league player, very good player.
Victor Sanders with a push shot. No pressure there on where he had to go to school then, huh?
No, not much. Victor Sanders using his size there to get into the paint and raise up. Remember, he is 6'5". Ahmad Rory's 6'1", guarding him. Sanders not only 6'5", but with long arms.
Rory dishes out, three-point shot attempt up and won't fall. Idaho with the rebound.
Montana 2 of 9 from 3 right now.
Yeah, Bobby Moorhead just couldn't get that one to fall. Nice post pass, good positioning. Turnaround shot up and missed as McCurchin couldn't get that one to fall.
That's some of that very good post defense I was talking about by Fabian Kraslovic.
Shot up the rim, missed, but a trip to the free throw line is in the cards for Jared Samuelson. As you mentioned, the young man from Billings, Montana is going to step to the free throw line. Couldn't get the follow shot to go, but he'll get a couple of free throws for his effort.
You know, it's really amazing. And not only I remember his dad, Blaine Taylor, an outstanding coach there, coached his dad. I can still remember the play they ran for his dad. I hope Blaine Taylor's listening. That elbow to elbow, big to big flare screen where his dad would catch it and shoot it in for 3. Again, his dad an all-conference player. But it's funny how certain things stick in your mind from guys you used to coach against.
That's awesome. First free throw's up and good. By the way, you know, that makes you seem really old, but you're only 63, and we know that because it's your birthday today. Again, happy birthday.
Thank you. It makes me seem really old because I am really old.
Not at all. Second shot up and good.
Wow. His dad taught him to shoot, I can tell you that.
Yeah, that's good free throw stroke. Idaho set to inbound. Victor Sanders harassed by Rory. Crosses the timeline. Then it's quickly double teamed, loses the handle, picks it back up. He's got to get rid of it. Finally is able to work it over across the horn.
The Idaho coaching staff said they have asked this kid to do everything, and he has delivered on virtually every command.
Pull-up shot is missed, but they're going to snag an a rebound on Idaho, going for the board.
Jordan Scott, who is as tough a guy as you're going to find in this league. Not a big-time scorer, only 4.9 a game, 4.5 rebounds a game. But what he brings to the table is terrific toughness and terrific competitive spirit.
So Montana will inbound. Again, about a 10-point game that we've seen over the last 5 or 6 minutes of this game. Montana really unable to cut into it. Idaho 33, Montana 23 with about 4:45 left to go.
Terrific half-court defense by Idaho. The Grizzlies 9 for 24, 37% so far.
Rory over to right. Ball stripped away, down to the post, and here comes Victor Sanders in transition. Pull up 3, shot is up and got it to fall.
Points off turnovers. Idaho in that Syracuse matchup has really held the Grizzlies at bay and held those guards, kept those guards out of the paint.
36-23, 13-point lead for the Vandals, looking to punch their ticket into the semifinals. Ogine into the lane, tries to lay it up, he does, and gets it to fall.
Only his second basket. He scored early in the game. He's been very quiet since then.
Trayvon Allen running the point for Idaho.
Nice job by the Idaho bench bringing Trayvon Allen in to give Sanders a little blow and bringing the ball up the court all the time.
Bad pass, entry pass goes astray, and it forces a turnover, and Montana will have the ball when we come back. 36-25 is our score. Idaho up by 11 on WatchBigSky.com.
We know we don't look
like most nurses you've met.
But when as a single mom, I needed to ensure a secure future for my son.
And I wanted to save lives.
We enrolled in the Montana State University College of Nursing's Caring for Our Own program.
At MSU, we received training that allows us to return home to treat our people. At Montana State University, we learn to heal and strengthen our communities.
I am J.D. Collins. This season, college basketball officials have continued to enforce the directive to reduce physicality. Coaches, student athletes, and officials have all adjusted to these changes. The net result is an increased pace of play and a more balanced game. Statistically, the game continues to see improvements in scoring, possessions, and shooting percentages. Good luck, and thank you for supporting college basketball.
36-25, an 11-point lead for the Idaho Vandals with 3:45 left to go. Scott Gerard alongside the coach, Joe Cravens. Coach, your initial thoughts on what we've seen here for the first 17 minutes of this game?
Well, nothing really unexpected. Idaho, the best defensive team in the league in terms of defensive field goal percentage, and the best rebounding team in the league in terms of rebound differential, has done just that. They have held Montana to 10 of 25 from the field, 40%, 2 of 9 from the three-point line, 22%, while on the other end, with the exceptions of the turnover bug, Idaho shooting 15 of 21, 71%, where they've shot themselves in the foot is turnovers, and they've turned it over the last 2 possessions.
All right, both teams with 5 turnovers in this game. Idaho has converted those 5 turnovers into 11 points, where the Grizz have only been able to convert their 5 turnovers into 5 points.
Victor Sanders getting a break for the Vandals now. Vandals back in that matchup 2-3 zone.
Kick out into the lane, push shot up and got it to fall. Good look for Walter Wright.
Walter Wright is their 3rd leading scorer. He was the 2nd leading scorer last year to Martin Bruning, so he's been here for a while and is used to putting up some points from Waterbury, Connecticut by way of Snow College.
It's an interesting path.
2nd straight offensive, or 2 out of 3 turnovers in their last 3 possessions by Idaho have been offensive fouls. Sherwood now going to the bench and Blake coming back in.
Set to inbound here will be Montana, as Ahmad Rory into this game, averaging nearly 18 points a game. Quickly down the court, and an offensive foul.
The outside official was giving way to the inside official to see what he had, and he had an offensive foul. Let's see if Idaho can't. Toughest call in basketball.
That really is.
As always, couldn't go about either way. Idaho, their last 3 possessions, have not only gotten a shot, or not scored, they've not even gotten a shot up. Let's see if they can at least get a shot at the basket here.
Trayvon Allen doing a good job running that point. Push shot up for Idaho is missed. Sherwood can't get it to fall, but another offensive board, and Idaho, in another battle for the ball, has the ball go off the hands of Ingram, and Montana's got the ball, and they turn it back over again.
Things have got a little disjointed here in terms of turnovers. Idaho 4 turnovers now in 5 possessions. Montana 2 straight turnovers, an offensive foul, and then a travel.
All right, Chad Sherwood, number 14. Hands it off to Trayvon Allen. Push shot up and good on a baseline drive. Nate Sherwood lays it up and in. Left wing into the lane. Kick it back out outside the 3-point line. Ahmad Rory loses the handle, has to hand it back. Then he gets it back. Back over top. Shot is up and good, as Montana gets the ball to drop. 38-29, 9-point lead with 1:48 left to go.
Montana making a little comeback here.
Push shot up and can't get it to fall. Montana with the rebound. 38-29, 9-point game. Minute 30 left to go.
The Grizzlies have scored on their last 3 shots. They've turned it over a couple times with 3 for 3.
Nice dish off. Leads to the layup. And Samuelson lays it up and in. It's a kid that was coached right to be in the right place at the right time.
Montana's made this little push without Mr. Everything for Idaho, Victor Sanders. in the game that I see now that he's on the sideline waiting to come back.
Trayvon Allen gets into the lane, dishes it off. Blake, post up, puts the layup, can't get it to fall into the paint. And here comes Montana going the other way. Pull up three, got it. Big shot, big run for the Grizz. Walter Wright gets it to fall.
7-0 run for the Grizz over the last 113.
38-34, 4-point game. As the Vandals have seen this lead disappear with 27 seconds left. See if they'll hold for the last shot here in the first half.
Montana has closing on 5 of their last 6.
Montana chipped away. They got a foul on Ahmad Rory, but that's all right because Montana is nowhere near getting themselves into the bonus.
I think that was a foul away from the ball, Scott. I think that was in the post on on Jack Lopez.
Oh, really? I thought it was on Rory. My bad.
I could be wrong. I was wrong one time, a long time ago.
Long time ago. When it comes to these matters, though, I'll always go with your opinion. Either way, Idaho, or Montana, only their 5th team foul.
Idaho, you would think, will hold for the last shot.
Sanders has other plans, though. Looked like he was going to shoot it and then lost the handle and dishes it back out.
Down to 10, look for him to try to get it back to Sanders.
Yep, Sanders on the right wing. 5 seconds left. Gets into the lane, baseline drive. They're going to call a foul, and a very smart foul by Montana, I might add. With 2.6 seconds left, and again, without being in the penalty, you can give that foul and force Idaho Idaho to inbound. .6 seconds left. Sideline warning over to the Montana bench. Having to inbound in a hurry. Long board, fall away 3, shot is up and good. Got it to fall. Rayon Blake gets it to go for Idaho, and they take a 7-point lead into the break. 41-34. Scott Gerard alongside the coach. As you've seen a really fun back forth in game between these two teams. And coach, you know what? This is kind of what we expected. Looked like Idaho was going to run away and hide. Montana reeled it back in.
Well, both teams living and dying with their defense. That was a great momentum shot by Blake, their second leading scorer, leading rebounder, who comes in off the bench. The Grizzlies were able to hold Idaho at bay. Idaho had a long scoring drought there, got themselves back in the game, and I don't think this one is over by a long, long stretch of the imagination.
Coach, I'd agree with you. 41-34 is our score. Idaho up by 7 right here on WatchBigSky.com.
The Big Sky Conference has a new app. Search Big Sky Conference on the App Store and Google Play and download the new free Big Sky Conference app. Watch live conference events, connect with Big Sky social media accounts, and access premium exclusive content. The Big Sky Conference app, now available for free on the App Store and Google Play.
People confuse nice and kind, but they're different. Nice tells you what you want to hear, but kind is honest. This bar is made with cranberries and almonds. So guess what? We call it Cranberry Almond. Give kind a try.
Sometimes I get a good feeling, yeah.
What makes a Big Sky champion? Is it toughness? Is it competitiveness? Is it community? Is it achievement? Or is it sportsmanship? All these attributes live in the heart of a Big Sky champion. We're the Big Sky Conference.
I am J.D. Collins. This season, college basketball officials have continued to enforce the directive to reduce physicality. Coaches, student athletes, and officials have all adjusted to these changes. The net result is an increased pace of play and a more balanced game. Statistically, the game continues to see improvements in scoring, possessions, and shooting percentages. Good luck, and thank you for supporting college basketball.
41-34. We are at the half with the Montana Grizzlies and Idaho doing battle here in this quarterfinal game. Idaho right now leading by 7, 41-34. Welcome back to what should be a tremendous second half as we get ready for, I don't know really what to expect here in this second half, Coach. It looked like Idaho was going to run away with this thing. Montana reeled them back in, and then Idaho hit the late three. All I know is we got two really good teams here going toe-to-toe.
A couple different runs in that first half. Idaho still shot 65% for the half, but turnovers hurt them. And Victor Sanders, when he went to the bench, then Montana made a little bit of run. Sanders was only 7 points. Montana on a pretty good run, though, to finish the half.
Yeah, let's take a look at some Idaho highlights as they lead this game by 7. Some good looks down low, and you're seeing players start to just develop some post play. McCurchin had some good looks down low. I know also you look at Sherwood, who had some good looks down low as well. It's been quite a variety of arsenal in this Idaho offensive threat, but the problem is, you mentioned turnovers have done them in.
Well, McCurchin 6 for 7 with 12 points. Idaho with 7 turnovers. They have, both teams have played from the inside out. As I said, Idaho likes to get the ball to the post people and play around him. Montana likes to dribble, penetrate. Montana's had a little bit of trouble attacking that 2-3 zone. There you see the last play of the first half to give Idaho a little momentum, a three-pointer by Blake. But without that, Montana had all the momentum. That last shot gave Idaho a little bit of lift going into the locker room.
Yeah, Brayon Blake with a huge three at the buzzer to give Idaho that lead of 7. But Montana playing well as well. They've had some moments. Let's look at their first half highlights. And again, a great crossover from Ahmad Rory, who has had a tremendous impact on both sides of the court in this game.
Well, Ahmad Rory with 8 points, but he is largely responsible for holding Victor Sanders to 7 first half points.
Yeah.
He's been terrific on defense. The Oregon transfer can really get it to the basket and finish the play. The third guard in this rotation, Walter Wright, has come off the bench and gone 5 for 8 and has 11 points. So this 3-guard attack by Montana, when they get Wright in there, has been pretty effective. Big Kraslovic is a force in the paint more defensively than offensively, but he has been pretty effective this first half as well.
All right, so if you're Travis DeCure in this Montana sideline, what are you telling to your guys getting ready for the second half?
Well, I think they got to do a little bit better job attacking that 2-3 zone, be a little bit more patient. They've scored off their defense when they've been able to turn Idaho over and get out and pressure Sanders at full court. That's when they've been at their best.
All right, we're ready to get this second half started. 41-34 is our halftime score. Second of 4 games today. As coming up next, we'll see Eastern Washington take on Sacramento State. That game will tip off at about 5:30 local time. For the Grizz, Bobby Moorhead set to inbound this ball. Gets the whistle, and we are off and rolling. Ahmad Rory crossing the timeline.
Both teams with their original starting 5. It looks like Idaho's going to start in their zone. As I said, Montana probably needing to be a little bit more patient. It's really eliminated the penetration by the guards, this 2-3.
Cross court to Ogine. He kicks it back over for a 3-point shot from Jack Lopez, and he gets it to drop.
Well, that was a nice draw and kick, and again, Montana showing a little bit more patience there, getting it to the third side, catching it off a ball reversal, and penetrating to enable Lopez to get to that 3-point shot.
So Victor Sanders picked up by Rory, baseline shot up, and can't get it to foul, but he's fouled. He'll get a couple of free throws out of it. You brought up a good point there at halftime about how this game kind of turned back for Montana when Victor Sanders took that late sit.
Yeah, and you know, they asked this kid, as their coaching staff told me, to do everything. He leads them in scoring, assists, steals, 3-point percentage, and he has to bring the ball up. He's not really a point guard, and Ahmad Rory has been on him like white on rice when he's they have isolated him to bring the ball up. I like that Idaho a time or two brought a big guy up to set a screen to kind of alleviate some of that pressure.
Sanders with another free throw attempt. Missed the first one, got the second one.
Sanders an 80% free throw shooter. You don't see him miss so many of them.
Pushes the lead to 5, 42-37. Early on in second half action. Rory giving it to Lopez. Lopez at the high point. Swings it over to Rory once again. Lopez will take another three. Hit his first one, could get that one to fall. Victor Sanders quickly in transition. He'll pull up for three, straight away, got it. Holy smokes, 45-37, 8-point lead for the Vandals.
Well, you got to find Sanders in transition. That basket came from great ball screen rotation and defense by the Vandals on that last offensive possession by Montana.
And Rory into the lane, gets a shot blocked in part by Victor Sanders.
Idaho doing a nice job of mixing their defenses, not letting Montana really get in a whole lot of rhythm at half court, their man and this 2-3 matchup.
Montana back out on offense. And they're going to call a foul, offensive foul on Montana, and the ball will go back to the Vandals.
That was on Jack Lopez setting a screen off of that inbound play. They were trying to bring Rory, who threw the ball in, and get it reversed and bring it back to him off of a double stagger down screen, and Lopez a little bit too aggressive on that. The official right on that too.
Bob,
excuse me. Now here's where I'd like to see the big guy just like that set that ball screen to alleviate some of that pressure on Sanders.
Sanders has his pocket picked once again. Here comes Michael Ogine laying it up and in. And again, defensive pressure causing problems for Idaho.
It's a nice steal by Ogine.
Into the lane. Shot is up and drops and foul.
And that's the Achilles heel of picking up full court. If you let the ball handler get ahead of you and let them play downhill, then they've got a numerical advantage down at the other end. They do a pretty good job as long as they keep Sanders in front of them. They let him get ahead of them, and that's what's going to happen. Idaho does a nice job of making them pay for pressing full court.
Able to finish with the left hand, Nate Sherwood. He's got another free throw. He knocks it down. 48-39, 9-point lead. And if you're a Vandal alum right now, perhaps listening in Southern California, you're hurting for your Grizzlies. Walter Wright, crossover.
Good defense by Sanders there, staying in front of Wright, which is not the easiest thing to do.
Baseline drive, kick it out to Bridget. Bridget, love to give and go to Ogine, who lays it up and in.
Someone fell asleep away from the ball and started watching the ball, and Ogine, great instinctive cut to the ball. Pritchett delivered it, assist to a layup.
Victor Sanders over to Nate Sherwood, and we got ourselves a foul.
Both these teams are very physical. If you are faint of heart, this is not the game for you to be involved with.
Chad Sherwood will set to inbound over on that far sideline.
I think I called him Chris Sherwood the first half, maybe. I think they have a third brother named Chris. I don't know.
Nate Sherwood kicks it over to Chad Sherwood. Low post, shot up, got it. McCurchin lays it up and in on a beautiful post move for the Vandals. Straightaway three is going to be missed as Ahmad Rory couldn't get that to fall. 50-41, 9-point lead for the Vandals. Into the lane, Victor Sanders dishes it off. Push shot up and out. Montana with the rebound.
McCurchin, who scored that last basket for the Vandals, now 7 of 8 for the game.
Walter Wright drives, is fouled. 50-41, Idaho leading by 9. Just over 16 minutes remaining in this game.
I believe I'd try to get it to McCurchin another time or two. He's
I
7
would
for
agree
8.
with that.
He's
yep.
coming off a career high 21 points and a season high 8 rebounds. He led his team in rebounding at Southern Utah last Saturday night, but he is having a terrific night.
First shot up and in. He'll have one more. Walter Wright provided a nice spark for this team in the first half, and you're seeing it again here in the second.
Well, he is a handful coming off the bench. He's only about 5'10", and he is quick as a water bug. As I mentioned, he is our 3rd leading scorer. He's the 2nd leading scorer last year. Preseason first team All Big Sky. Coach DeCure's kind of turned him into a 6th man coming off the bench, and he's been very effective in that role.
Hit both shots, 50-43, 7-point lead, and another steal. Lamont Rory picks off a pass. Walter Aguinez there with a loose ball. He can't finish, but then he tips up his own miss and lays it up and in.
Well, these guards are just giving Victor Sanders nightmares in terms of handling the ball. And I like that. Just throw it up ahead. They brought Pat Ingram, who's a kind of a combo guard in to alleviate a little of the pressure on Sanders.
Layup and in the paint. And Pat Ingram, who had some big moments in the first half, gives Idaho a big shot after it appeared that Montana was going to be taking control of this momentum. 52-45, 7-point lead for the Vandals with 15:48 left to go here in the second half. You're listening to Big Sky Basketball and WatchBigSky.com.
Sometimes I get a good feeling, yeah. I get a feeling that I never had before. No, I get a good feeling.
What makes a Big Sky champion? Is it toughness? Is it competitiveness? Is it community? Is it achievement? Or is it sportsmanship? All these attributes live in the heart of a Big Sky champion. We're the Big Sky Conference.
52-45, the Vandals with a 7-point lead. It's been a back-and-forth battle here. Momentum on both sides. Right now, Montana felt like they were starting to get in a bit of a groove, but Idaho answered right back. And, Coach, I think we can expect more back and forth going out the rest of this game as you're seeing two really good teams here in this conference play go after each other here.
Well, this has been a very, very good game. And as we thought it was going to be, two teams playing really hard, two coaches doing a very good job with the team. I expect this one to be a close one all the way down to the end, just like we thought it would be.
All right, Montana set to inbound. Walter Wright underneath his own basket. Swings over to Samuelson. Samuelson back to Pridgett.
3 point guards, or 3 guards, I should say, in the game now for Idaho to try to take care of the basketball.
Walter Wright into the lane, layup. Can't get it to fall, goes out of bounds, and they're going to say off of Wright, and it'll go back to the Idaho Vandals.
Well, that's a tough break for the Grizzly. Walter Wright right at the rim then, just couldn't make that one go in. But as I was alluding to, two point guards in Ingram and Trayvon Allen and then Sanders, who isn't a point guard but has been doing most of the ball handling. And I'm sure the coaches from Idaho are trying to give him a little help handling the ball.
Victor Sanders has a shot block, gets his own rebound, shoots it up again from the baseline, can't get it to fall, but another offensive board. This time the layup can't fall again, but another offensive board. Idaho's killing it on the paint, but a block shot finally is ripped down by by Montana. In transition is Wright, layup, shot, can't get it to fall, but he's fouled.
We've got to get to him a lot sooner than that. I don't know who the point guard is in transition defense for Idaho, but you can't run back to the paint with the ball in his hand or he's going to get right to the rim just like he did.
So with this being a 7-point game, Walter Wright steps up to the free throw line with a chance to hit 2 free throws. Cut this lead down to 5.
Sometimes when you have a point guard who's rebounding like Ingram, and I'm not sure he's the designated point guard, but you got him in there battling for the rebound. then that affects your transition defense, and Walter Wright gets right to the basket with it.
Well, a lot of coaches tell their guards, hey, I'd rather you get back than get there battling for boards. He hits both free throws, cuts the lead to 5, 52-47. 15 minutes straight up left to go in this one. Trayvon Allen, Ogine in his back pocket, picks up his dribble. Ball nearly stolen away from Idaho once again.
Montana's really picked the pressure up. It's been good all game, but Ogine is out there. Boy, it's all over Allen.
5 seconds left on the shot clock. Sanders has it. He's got to get rid of it. Underneath his own basket, lays it up and draw. Oh, nope, they're going to get the shot clock violation. Thought he drew a foul before the shot, but the violation will give the ball back to Montana, and they're only down by 5.
That may be Montana's best possession of half-court defense there. Idaho could not even get a clean look at the basket. And Sanders now coming out to get a blow there. Chad Sherwood now in the game. Still 3 guards in the game.
Here comes Montana with Walter Wright. Turning the corner, gets in the lane, loses the handle, has to tip it away. Try to tip it to Ogine, but it goes off an Idaho player. Montana will hold on to the ball. 16 seconds left on the shot clock.
Travis DeCure up calling the play, his 3rd year there. As I said, one of the long lineage of very successful Montana coaches. 2 years, 2 straight 20-win seasons. Coming off a road sweep of Weber State and Idaho.
Samuelson had a good look, just couldn't get it to fall. Here comes Idaho, back the other way. Sherwood to Bridget. Bridget, shot in the lane, got it to rattle home.
Really nice timing down there by Blake. Looked his guy off, let a couple guys kind of move around him, and then took advantage of a little bit of a size mismatch. He's a very, very good inside-out player.
Pull-up shot inside the three-point line, won't fall. Amon Rory with a missed opportunity. Idaho quickly the other way. 3-point shot missed. Tap out of bounds, and it will go back to the Grizz. 54-47, 7-point game with 13:24 left to go here in this one.
Mark Rory with 8 points at halftime. He's not scored this half, 7 minutes into it. The Grizz leading scorer for the year. He also leads them in assists and minutes per game, but he hasn't tallied in this second half.
Winner of this game goes on to take on North Dakota coming up tomorrow.
Boy, were they impressive at times tonight. They came out in the first 15 minutes and just blew Portland State away. Portland State, to their credit, kind of tried to claw back in it. But boy, oh boy, North Dakota looks really good.
Ogine is going to try his hand at a 3, and he will drain it from the outside.
I think Idaho was in their 2-3 zone that time. The ball goes inside. Those guards have got to match up and not collapse on the ball there, because the ball went in and then back out to a wide open 3.
But Chad Sherwood lines up his 3-point shot attempt, and he gets it to fall. Back to a 7-point game.
Chad Sherwood moved everybody on the court with that pass fake. He caught that ball for reversal, faked like he was going to the corner, and everybody ran to the corner, and he got himself wide open for that 3.
Lopez hands off to Wright. Wright tries to go low, dishes off low, and we got ourselves a foul. Handed it off to Chris Lobick, and he will go to the free throw line.
They ran a little handoff to Wright there, and Trayvon Allen played it really well, and Wright just kept coming. He is almost impossible to stay in front of. You can stop the kind of that initial move maybe, but if you stand up and get out of stance, then he is by you in a heartbeat. He is quick on quick.
Chris Lobick misses his first free throw. He's a 62% free throw shooter. He'll have one more.
Boy, he's a good player. He's not a great scorer. I love this kid, though. No one plays harder than him, and he is. You could make an instructional film with his post defense.
Second shot is good. 6-point lead for the Vandals with 12:20 and counting left to go here in the ball game.
Montana just won't go away. They kind of get there and can't quite get over the hump. Idaho can't create a whole lot of distance between them.
3-point shot, up, missed. Here comes Ogine going the other way. Into the lane. Layup, missed, out of bounds, and it's going to go back to Idaho.
Ogine getting right to the rim with his left hand and couldn't convert, though.
Idaho set to inbound, working it over to Trayvon Allen. Montana with a little bit of a press. As Ahmad Rory right with him every step of the way.
Well, Rory's really a good defender.
Ingram into the lane. He'll take the shot. He'll miss it. But the offensive rebound opportunity will go out of bounds and will go back to the Grizz. 57-51. 6-point lead for the Vandals. 11:44 left to go in this one. Big Sky basketball on WatchBigSky.com.
At the University of Idaho, we believe a good education should be available to everyone. It's at the heart of who we are as Idaho's land-grant university. We work tirelessly to explore ideas that help our community, our farmers, our engineers, and our industries. We research and develop ideas that matter to our state, to our world, and to you. Because an educated society is good for all of us.
The Vandals leading by 6 in a back-and-forth battle here in the quarterfinals of the Big Sky Conference Tournament. As we mentioned earlier, the winner of this game will go on to take on North Dakota, who looked great in a win earlier today over, and you know, you saw exactly just how explosive North Dakota can be. Either one of these teams, whether it be Idaho or Montana, are going to have their hands full in the next round.
Well, great guard play. Montana, I'd love to see a matchup between the Montana guards and the North Dakota guards. Boy, you talk about quick on quick, but Idaho has had the lead virtually the entire game. They can't quite deliver the knockout punch, and that's because of great guard play. Walter Wright has just been in the paint all night, and Ahmad Rory has just been giving Victor Sanders all kinds of problems on defense.
Baseline drive, kick it over to Ogine. Ogine back to Wright. As Idaho coming out with the zone. Down low. Turnaround shot up and falls for the Grizz.
Very
Chris
nice
Lovick. That was just fundamentals on display there, Coach.
Up and under, he went one way, pivoted back, great lower body balance, and like I say, not a big score. He only averages 7. That's what he has right now, 7.
Devontae Allen nearly has it stolen away. Ogine with the defensive pressure. Idaho, though, is able to get it down into the post. Rayon Blake, who had a big 3 earlier, loses the handle. Ball's down on the court, and fight for the ball, and they're going to go. They go
ball, I think they're calling.
Yeah. And the possession arrow will stay with Idaho.
Scott, I don't know if you've ever spent much time down south, like around the ocean, Georgia and Florida, but they have these things down there called sand gnats, and that's what Montana State's guards are like. If they're guarding you, they're just like a sand gnat. You just want them to, you know, give you a break, get out of my face for a little while. They are just relentless guarding Idaho's guards, just causing all kinds of issues.
So here comes Idaho with 4 seconds left on the shot clock. Sanders needs to do something, kicks it over to Sherwood. He'll take a 3 and miss it. And an offensive rebound will go out of bounds off of Montana back to Idaho.
Boy, Ingram has been all over the offensive glass. That's his 5th offensive rebound for the game. Idaho only has 6 offensive rebounds.
So a fresh shot clock for the Vandals and a golden opportunity lost for the Grizz. Sanders into the lane. Shot is up, out the back of the iron. Some contact down low. And they're going to call another foul, but this one's going to go against the Vandals.
Sanders now with 11 points, 3 of 9 from the field. As I said, these sand gnat guards of Montana have been just giving him fits.
Number 21, Arcade McCurchin checking into the game.
I don't believe he has scored yet this half. 7 for 9 from the field for McCurchin, coming off a career high at Southern Utah with 14 points. Walter Wright for Montana, the leading scorer in the game with 15.
Nice dish down low. Walter Wright hands off to Chris Lovick, and he throws it down. And the lead is 2, 57-55. The Grizz have come storming back. Idaho struggling offensively, and Montana getting shots at the other end.
I tell you, Walter Wright has had an unbelievable impact on this game. Kid that comes off the bench, he got that ball right to the rim, created an easy shot.
Shot is up and good on the other end. McCurchin pushes the lead back to 4.
Just mentioned McCurchin. I think that's his first basket of this half. 16 now, he becomes the leading scorer in the game.
Chris Lovac holds, needs to get it off to somebody, finally hands it off to Lopez. And Lopez will kick it over to Walter Wright with 10 seconds left on the clock.
Little sucker backdoor look there that Victor Sanders read.
And Victor Sanders with the steal. He's got numbers 2-on-1, hands it off, backdoor. And a layup attempt could not fall, but he'll go to the free throw line. As Idaho running the break very, very well.
Well, it came off a steal. Victor Sanders with this steal to Big Blake. Blake, a nice little paint-to-paint pass there to Ingram. Ingram, a junior college transfer from Trinity Valley in Texas, originally from Indiana.
Now he has had his struggles from the free throw line. He's a 50% free throw shooter. And these are key shots here with 9:23. Makes the first one. He'll have one more, 60-55, 5-point lead for the Vandals.
There's a reason he is a 500% free throw shooter. That had side spin on him, which is good if you're trying to throw a curveball, not if you're trying to shoot a basketball.
He goes 2 for 2, but you're right.
Not to be sarcastic.
That had an interesting spin on it.
It did. But he's played up a storm. Like I said, Idaho with 7 offensive rebounds. He has 5 of them.
Lead is now 6, 61-55. Ogine trying to get it to Ahmad Rory. Nearly loses the handle. Ogine gets it back, pushes it back to the left side of the court. And Montana a little out of sorts offensively. Chris Lovac, though, in the paint. Kicks it back out, 3-point shot attempt, up and good. Lopez knocks it down.
Really good in-out play then. Lopez does a nice job of feeding the post. Chris Lovic kind of got the double team from Lopez's defender and back out. Just good, solid, fundamental basketball there.
Chris Lovic getting out defensively, too. Trying to harass Victor Sanders. Down low, paint pass deflected, and then stolen away by Montana. Grizz can tie with a 3. And Rory will try to do that, and he does. Ahmad Rory drains the 3, and we're all scored at 61 apiece with 8:18 left to go.
Such a smart play there by Kraslovic. Got a little pass, gave it back, set a ball screen. That's the reason I like this kid so much. Kraslovic, even though he's not the guy that made the shot, he made the shot possible.
Idaho has led for the majority of the game. Montana is roared back to tie it up. Idaho with a 3-point shot attempt. Chad Sanders can't get it to fall.
An open shot, but I thought Sanders may have been out of rhythm a little bit there.
Chad Sherwood, excuse me, sorry. (61 all). Montana with a chance to take the lead. And a foul with 10 seconds left on the shot clock will take us the under 8-minute timeout. 7:33 left to go. We are all square at 61 apiece. Don't go anywhere, folks. This is going to go right down to the wire. The Grizzlies and the Vandals on WatchBigSky.com.
makes a Big Sky champion? Is it toughness? Is it competitiveness? Is it community? Is it achievement? Or is it sportsmanship? All these attributes live in the heart of a Big Sky champion. We're the Big Sky Conference.
I am J.D. Collins. This season, college basketball officials have continued to enforce the directive to reduce physicality. Coaches, student athletes, and officials have all adjusted to these changes. The net result is an increased pace of play and a more balanced game. Statistically, the game continues to see improvements in scoring, possessions, and shooting percentages. Good luck, and thank you for supporting college basketball.
All square at 61 apiece with 7:33 left to go. It's the Big Sky quarterfinals. And the winner of this game, as we mentioned, takes on North Dakota. But, Coach, Montana has been trailing for the majority of this ball game, and Idaho, at various points, has kind of felt like they're about ready to take control of this thing. And here comes the Grizz, reeling them back in once again, and we are all square at 61 apiece. And Montana with the ball and a chance to take the lead.
Little momentum shift there for going in Montana's favor. Their guards just creating havoc defensively. Points off turnovers for both teams has been big. Montana scored 16 points off turnovers. Idaho 15 off turnovers. It's kind of the game within the game, and see who can end up using it to their advantage here in the last 7 minutes.
Ogine down in the paint, loses the handle, knocked out of his hands by Idaho. With 23 seconds left on the shot clock, Montana will inbound. Walter Wright coming into the game for Ogine, who will take a breather.
Montana up now to 50% shooting for the game, and in large part those layups off the Idaho turnovers.
Chris Lovick in the paint, spins around, gives it back to Wright. Wright eyes up his defender. Step back shot. Can't get it to fall. Tip out by Chris Lovick is still contained by Idaho.
Pretty good defense by Chad Sherwood there.
Oh, they're going to get Walter Wright with a foul, trying to pick the pocket of Victor Sanders. And that is the 16th foul for Montana. Both teams with 16 fouls, so the next one for both will put the other team to the free throw line.
Victor Sanders may have a hard time going to sleep tonight with nightmares of these Montana guards up in his face the whole game.
Sanders over to Jordan Scott. Scott back to Sanders. Three-point shot, got it to fall. Big three for Victor Sanders.
Big shot by first team all-conference Victor Sanders. And Rory was right there. Sanders, remember, 6'5" with long arms. He doesn't need a whole lot of space to get that shot off against a smaller guard.
McCurchin hands it over to down low, and a tip up is up and in by Ahmad Rory, and Rory lays it up and in, cuts the lead down to 1. Here comes Idaho and Victor Sanders.
Well, again, I'd like to see Idaho bring a guy up and give him some help, and instead of ball screen for him, at least get a big guy up there to make Rory think about it.
Pass down low, shot up, missed. But a free throw coming for McCurchin, number 21, big man from Portland, Oregon. Has some big free throws coming up. He's a 65% free throw shooter.
McCurchin is 8 for 10 from the field, and it doesn't take a genius to think we want to go back inside for him, but Montana's pressure full court has kept Idaho from coming down and easily getting the ball into the post. It hasn't been a whole lot to do with Montana's post defense. It's their perimeter defense that's kept Idaho from coming back to McCurchin.
Arcady McCurchin hits the first one. He'll have one more. Pushes the lead back to 2, 65-63. Montana has been doing everything they can to keep this game close. They just can't seem to get over the hump, Coach.
It's really interesting. As good a defense as these two teams have played this game, Montana's shooting 50%, Idaho 55%, but most of that has come off of guard steals that leads to layup. Their half-court defense by both teams have been very, very good. It's the turnovers to points that has built that field goal shooting percentage.
Both free throws up and in. Here comes Idaho with a press, trying to get Montana at least to slow down a bit offensively. Walter Wright over to Pridgett, back to Wright, to Ogine. Ahmad Rory hands it off to Krislovic, back to Rory, who misses the shot, and here comes Idaho.
I tell you, Krislovic is a good passer out of the post. Nothing fancy, he just makes the right pass.
Victor Sanders with a long shot attempt is missed, and here comes Montana. Idaho gets back defensively. Walter Wright still wants to drive. Dishes off on the baseline to Ogine. Ogine can't do anything with it, falls out of bounds, and they're gonna call a foul on Jordan Scott. And that's gonna put Ogine to the free throw line. Ogine really had nowhere to go, and Jordan Scott bails him out with a foul.
I tell you, that is a tough matchup for Jordan Scott. Jordan Scott is 6'6", 200. Ogine is 6'2", 171, and much, much quicker. Again, a tough matchup for Scott.
All right. You saw the replay on that one. If you're Idaho, you probably have some things to complain about. Ogine hits the first shot on the 1-and-1. He'll have one more, cuts the lead to 2.
Ogine, the second leading scorer on this team, a 78% free throw shooter, also second team all-conference. Third team all-conference, I believe.
By the way, that's also damaging too for Idaho, as that's Scott's fourth foul. He has to check out of the game. So Chad Sherwood inbounds, hands it over to Victor Sanders. Crosses the timeline. Picks up a screen, tries to reset. Drive down low, and they're going to call a foul away from the bucket, but it is going to put, it appears to be, I believe McCurchin's going to go to the free throw line.
Off that drive from the elbow, that's what you heard me call last Tuesday a prom date foul. Keep your hands to yourself, young man.
Idaho leading by 1. 2 free throws coming up. First free throw up and back iron. Can't get it to fall. Ogine skies for the rebound. And here comes Montana with a chance to take the lead. Attack the bucket. Shot missed, and here comes Idaho going the other way. And a cherry pick shot is up and missed, but a foul as Pat Ingram was there all by himself. Montana collapsed quickly to force the missed shot. He'll go to the free throw line, gets up a little slowly.
Pat Ingram was on the ground as Montana was attacking the basket down there. Idaho gets the ball. He's very slowly got up, but he was down there all by himself. I don't know where he's hurting, whether it's an ankle injury or what. But like you said, that looked a little bit like the old cherry picking play, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. All right, Victor Sanders gives him a little bit of a pep talk, and he's ready to step up to the free throw line to try to push this lead back to 3. Again, Montana has had so many opportunities to take the lead in this game, but, you know, there's something, I guess, when you're trying to make a comeback and you exert so much energy to keep it close, sometimes you just don't have enough left in the tank to get over the top.
Well, that, and I've been very impressed with Idaho's poise. They have not, you see absolutely no panic when they have gotten it close. And here's a guy who's not a great free throw shooter that I actually kind of poked some fun at with the rotation on his ball. I feel like I can do that with both Indiana guys. You know, we got to stick together.
There you go. You can make fun of your own.
Yeah, but he, you know, Idaho hasn't flinched. They've gotten it close, and they just keep kind of coming.
Those are 4 consecutive key free throws from a guy who's a 50% free throw shooter.
Huge. And, but he's a senior. He's been here before, and he's given them some great minutes tonight. Like I say, the leading offensive rebounder by either team. He has 5 offensive rebounds. No one else with more than 2 on either team.
68, 65, 4:50 left to go in this one. As the Grizz and the Vandals, we anticipated a great game. It is not disappointed.
2 teams that play really hard and are both very, very well coached.
Baseline 3. Buckets for Walter Wright.
Ties it up. Walter Wright, who's made a living all night getting to the basket, just jumped up and shot that one like he thought it was going to go in, and it did go in.
All square at 68 apiece. Into the lane. Shot up and good. Nate Sherwood lays it up and in for the Vandals.
Great shot fake by Sherwood. Got his guy up in the air, and it looked like a parting of the Red Sea then. Got all the way to the basket with it.
Once again, Idaho getting pushed by Montana, and they always respond on the other end. Ogine into the lane. Puts the shot up the glass. Can't get it to fall. Idaho with the board.
Both teams a little bit winded.
Down low. Nearly traveled. Kicked it back out to Victor Sanders.
Good decision. Idaho now run a little half-court offense.
Idaho leads by 2, 70-68. Down in the post. Cross-court pass, three-point shot attempt up and rattles out. Goes out of bounds. They'll say it goes off Montana. Idaho with a fresh shot clock holds onto the ball.
Tough break for the Grizz there.
70-68, 3:25 left to go in this one. Don't go anywhere right here on WatchBigSky.com.
We know we don't look,
Like most nurses you've met.
but when as a single mom, I needed to ensure a secure future for my son,
And I wanted to save lives.
we enrolled in the Montana State University College of Nursing's Caring for Our Own program.
At MSU, we received training that allows us to return home to treat our people. At Montana State University, we learn to heal and strengthen our communities.
People confuse nice and kind, but they're different. Nice tells you what you want to hear, but kind is honest. This bar is made with cranberries and almonds. So guess what? We call it cranberry almond. Give kind a try.
Welcome on back. A back and forth battle between the Vandals and the Grizz as you see both teams with key plays down the stretch. Straightaway three by Ahmad Rory. And again, this has just been a fun back and forth game, Coach, between two teams that just aren't ready to have their season come to an end.
Well, they split the regular season series, both of them winning on the opponent's court. Maybe the hottest two teams coming in to this tournament. They both had road sweeps, winning on Thursday and Saturday of last week. We anticipated a very close game, and it is just that, 70-68. Idaho has not flinched as Montana has come knocking at the door here. Both teams just playing up a storm, a very competitive game.
Idaho has reeled off 9 out of the last 11, including 4 in a row coming into this game. Montana with a key road sweep to get into the number 5 seed before the tournament started. But here comes Idaho with the lead and the ball.
As I said, there's been some easy shots off of steals in transition.
Ball nearly stolen away, and they're going to call Montana for a foul.
But there has been almost no easy shots in half-court offense. And Idaho ran that last out-of-bounds play for Sanders. Ogine read that like a book and was right there when Sanders caught it.
All right, I believe that's going to send McCurchin to the free throw line. McCurchin on the season, a 65% free throw shooter. Today he's 2 for 3.
Idaho 10 for 12 for the game from the free throw line, and Montana 10 for 11.
And rattles out. We'll have one more.
Idaho winning the war of the glass, 29-21.
McCurchin hits the free throw, gives the Vandals the 3-point lead with 3:10 left to go.
Both teams with 3 timeouts left. I would suspect they will use all 3 of those before this one's over with. Both coaches doing a great job of hoarding their timeouts to have them at the end of the close game.
Into the lane, drawing the foul is Ahmad Rory. The 83% free throw shooter will have a chance to take a couple himself.
Rory was 13 for the night, 4 off of his season average. Sanders with 14 for the night and about 10 off of his conference average.
First shot up and good. He'll have one more.
those two have kind of canceled each other out
Yeah, they have.
to a certain degree. They have both played great defense on one another.
Second shot up and good as well. Back to a 1-point game, 71-70, 2:55 left to go. Coach, if our other two games are like this one, we're in for one heck of a day.
Well, this one has been a dandy. Maybe, well, it's hard to say the best game of the tournament so far when we did that triple overtime game
that's
the
true.
other night.
Trayvon Allen on the right wing over to Victor Sanders. Kicks it over to Sherwood. Back to Allen on the left wing. Sanders, pull up three. Too far, fight for the rebound. Sherwood's there, misses the putback, wants the foul, he's not gonna get it. Montana's got the ball, down one.
As I said, nothing easy at half court. Victor Sanders got a respectable look on the move there. The best look was Sherwood's putback look.
Walter Wright pull up, and finally Montana's got the lead. 72-71, 2:15 left to go. They've been close all game long, but finally the Grizz, with a Walter Wright pull-up, takes the 1-point lead.
Walter Wright's 20th point now.
Idaho on the right wing. Sherwood looks to drive. Kiss off the, oh, can't get it to fall. Looked like he was going to try to bank that thing in, but he does draw the foul. He'll go to the free throw line.
I tell you, Montana has just played terrific half-court defense here in about the last 5 minutes. Idaho can't get a look. They run things. They can't spring Sanders. They can't get a post catch.
So Nate Sherwood, a 64% free throw shooter, will try to give Idaho the lead back. 1:58 left to go.
Possession arrow goes toward Montana in case of a tie-up here. Both teams, 3 timeouts left. Neither team with any real foul trouble. Jack Lopez has 4. Jordan Scott has 4.
First shot rattles in. Soft rim here at the Reno Event Center.
I think he kind of wished that one in after it hung on the front there. All deuced up at 72.
Second shot is up and rattles home. Big man goes 2 for 2 from the line, giving the Vandals the lead back with 1:53 and counting left to go. Into the lane, right, loses the handle, but he's going to draw the foul.
I'm a little bit surprised, and Don Verlin, his staff, knows his team and what they do best, better than I do, that they haven't played a little bit more of that 2-3 zone to try to keep those guards out of the paint there. And that's a tough call there, because when a guy's dry, just puts his head down and drives, there's going to be some contact, and I mean, there's just no way to avoid it. And that's the reason I'm saying maybe that 2-3 zone right now, but yet you kind of give up a 3-point look as well.
Another free throw rattles home, touches about every part of the rim, but Walter Wright ties this game up at 73 apiece, and he'll have one more. Grizzly fans all across the country on bated breath on that free throw. Second one up, drops it home. Grizzlies by 1, 74-73, $1:49 left to go. Here comes Victor Sanders, closely guarded by Ogine. Hands off, back to Sanders, into the lane, shot off the glass, got it to fall.
What a big time shot. What a big time shot. A runner off 1 foot off the glass. That's the reason the kid is first team all league. That is as tough and big time a shot as we've seen tonight.
75-74 with 1:30 left to go in this one, Coach. As you look at Don Berlin, and that looks like a coach that's going through a heavyweight battle right there. Big shot after big shot, and what do we expect from these teams? I mean, obviously Montana with a key jumper there. Walter Wright continues to hit big shot after big shot, and Idaho on the other hand keeps responding. I love this runner, Coach.
Misdirection, off 1 foot, off the glass. Again, that's maybe the toughest shot we have seen tonight. As I see these two coaches work right now, Scott, I am very happy to be over here with you. Because this is one of those games that afterward, both coaches win or lose, you're going to be so worn out physically. And at this time of year, you don't have a whole lot left in the tank emotionally or physically, either one. And this is a drain to coach in a game like this. If you're Idaho right now, you're just trying to defensively keep those guards out of the paint, which is a very, very tall order. And then you're also preaching only one shot. Get to your block out. Don't give them an offensive rebound. Then when we do get a stop, this is what we're going to do. Both coaches have to be coaching a couple possessions ahead of just this upcoming possession.
75-74, the Vandals up on the Grizzlies with 1:30 left to go in a game that has lived up to everything we hoped it would be.
And if you're Travis DeCure, I'm sure you're going to try to hang on to the ball, get the defense moved around a little bit, get it to a guard off a ball reversal, and then let them go, let them get to the paint again. And Walter Wright has just dominated this game in my mind, all 5'10", 161 pounds of him.
All right, here we go. The Grizz switch over to Ogine.
Three-man weave by the guard.
Hands back to right, pull-up shot, can't get it to fall. Rebound for Idaho. The ball and the lead for the Vandals.
Ingram with 6 rebounds now. He has been a man on the glass.
The Vandals working some clock here. Over to Victor Sanders. Sanders working that left side. Here's more of that weave. Pat Ingram, hold to Sanders. Sanders wants to take a big shot here. 4 seconds left. Baseline. Up, under, shot.
Wow!
3-point lead for the Idaho Vandals is Victor Sanders coming up big.
Cool as a cucumber there, up and under, kept his balance, shot. I think he was trying to draw the foul there and just kind of pitched it up. Remember I said his last shot was the toughest shot of the game. Then that one is the second toughest shot of the game. Look at this. Double clutch up, no glass. Now if you're Idaho, the age-old thought here, do we foul and keep them from hitting the three? Do we send them to the free throw line? I think too much time left here to do that. And Montana has not been hunting the three tonight. They've kind of made their money getting those guards into the paint, but Idaho one stop away from maybe salting this one away.
Incredible performance. Victor Sanders, he's turned the ball over 4 times as that Montana guards have really harassed him all day long. But when Idaho needed big shots, more often than not, he's delivered in this game.
Back-to-back huge shots. Remember, Idaho's down 1. He hits that first runner from almost the same spot off of 1 foot off the glass to give him a 1-point lead. And with the shot clock literally expiring, makes that little up and under pitch that went in from about 6 feet. Back-to-back as toughest shot that you'll see in college basketball. And I keep saying I think maybe Idaho needs to get some thought to playing the zone, but I like their mentality, that man-oh-man-oh. We're a man-to-man defensive team. We're the best defensive team in the league. We're going to guard a man-to-man and win or lose this game.
Montana needs points on this possession. Into the lane. Cross-court pass. Good look. Can't get it to finish, but he'll go to the free throw line. Chris Lovic's going to go to the line, but a good pass. I believe it was Walter Wright that dished it off to him.
I think that was Pritchard,
you're right.
the freshman, and I tell you what, he got lucky because he got up in the air, and I don't think had any idea what he was going to do. He ended up making it look like he made a great play by finding Chris Lovic, but I think
giving him a little bit more credit than maybe
I believe so.
Chris Lovic makes the first free throw. He's got 1 more, cuts it to a 2-point game.
Now, if you're Idaho, you've got to handle this full court pressure. They've got 2 timeouts left. If this goes in, they're going to have the ball up 1 with 34 seconds left. Obviously, about a 4-second differential in the time clock or the game clock and the shot clock. You can get it down, take almost the last shot, and leave Montana 5 seconds.
So let's just say you don't foul, and you let Idaho essentially clean off maybe 28 seconds are you comfortable with 6 seconds having to go the length of the court?
I think so, because that's the strength of this team is their guard play.
Yeah.
You give one of those guards 5 seconds to go the length of the court, that's no problem. They can probably get there in about 3 seconds. If you're Idaho now, your challenge is to get that ball up and run some clock off, because remember, Montana has just given them fits bringing the ball up the court now. They have both their point guards in Idaho, I'm referring to, with the freshmen Trayvon Allen and Victor Sanders. First of all, they got to get the ball in. They're able to run the inbounds because it was after a free throw. Their first and foremost challenge is getting this ball inbounds without a turnover.
Inbound pass goes to Victor Sanders, harassed. As Montana almost forces a turnover, but Sanders has the ball, crossing the timeline. Again, harassed once again by this Montana defense, and they do foul. Chris Lovick comes over and fouls, and with 77-76 our score, 20 seconds left, that's going to send Trayvon Allen to the free throw line, an 86% free throw shooter. And
shooting too. I like Travis DeCure's plan there. We're going to sell out to this half-court trap, and they almost pulled it off, but once it gets into the front court, we're going to foul and extend this game a little bit.
Misses the free throw, big miss.
As I said, Trayvon Allen, a freshman. He has appeared in 29 games, started 11, but he is still a freshman. This is a big, probably the biggest moment in this kid's basketball career, college or high school.
Brandon Gfeller coming into the court, probably for rebounding purposes. Make sure they don't give up some board off the free throw. Allen steps back up to the free throw line.
Gfeller, the best three-point shooter too, probably going to play off the draw and kick.
Yep. Free throw up and good, 78-76. Idaho leads by 2.
I sense an overtime coming, partner. I sense an overtime.
You know, honestly, I'd love to see more of this game. Not going to lie to you, for selfish reasons.
Now they got both Gfeller and Moreland in, and watch them go to the perimeter again to play off the draw and kick. 3 guards together, look for them to kick it out.
Ahmad Rory crashes the paint, gets to the line. Shot wouldn't fall, but he'll have a chance to tie this game up at the free throw line.
Montana spaced the court, no post guy in there. Had the 2 shooters I talked about, Gfeller and Moreland, out in the corner, and just let Rory put his head down and get to the basket.
Ahmad Rory, big free throws. He's an 83% free throw shooter. Shot is up and rattles out. Looked like it was on its way down, spun out.
Now, if you're Idaho now, all you got to do is either rebound this, or if it goes in, you got to get the ball inbounds, because Idaho has got to come foul you now.
Here we go, Ahmad Rory. His second free throw attempt. Missed the first one. He'll have one more. Lines it up, knocks it down. 1-point game, Idaho inbounding. And the immediate foul for Victor Sanders is going to put him to the free throw line. He's a 79% free throw shooter. Only took about a second and a half off the clock. So here we go, Victor Sanders with 2 big free throws of his own. Still, even if he makes both, this is a 1-possession game.
If he makes both now, with only 13 seconds left, you might give some thought to fouling to keep them from hitting a 3.
Are you a believer in that philosophy? A lot of coaches kind of go different ways on that.
You know, I'll be honest with you, I wasn't, because I always thought my team, I kind of put the onus on them, just like I kind of think that Don Berlin's going to do. We're the best defensive team in the league. We're going to win this at the defensive end. Let's don't get too tricky here. And with 13 seconds left, there's a lot of time left that something funny could happen if you put them at the free throw line.
All right, made the first one. He'll have one more. Big free throws from a man who has hit some big shots in this game.
Boy, he has. The cream has risen to the top with him.
Lines it up, and it rims out. 2-point game, 79-77. Idaho quickly down the court.
What's the guard to put their head down and try to get to the rim?
Into the lane, shot is blocked. Idaho gets the rebound with 2 seconds left. It appeared that there was a good opportunity for a putback. It rims out, and Idaho's got a 2-point lead, 79-77. 2.9 remaining in this one, and Idaho's going to go to the free throw line.
Well, Victor Sanders using his height there to his advantage. That's the one time tonight I think that his size really paid off, guarding Walter Wright, who's 5'10", Victor Sanders 6'5" with long arms. Wright got right to the rim, but had to shoot over Sanders.
Trayvon Allen, who went 1 for 2 on his previous trip to the free throw line. If he makes both, this game's done. If he goes 1 for 2, we still very much have ourselves a game on our hands.
Now, if he goes 1 for 2, now's the time if you're going to foul. And about a week ago, in fact, a week ago tonight, Idaho, I'm speaking of, was in this very same position versus Weber State. They did foul, and off the rebound, Idaho gets a foul called on them. Weber State goes down, hits the free throws, and it goes to overtime. Idaho had a lead, an 8-point lead with less than a minute to go, and they were in this exact same situation. But I really believe if you go up 3 with 2.9 left, now would be a good time to foul.
79-77, back and forth battle between these two teams, two of your better teams in the Big Sky Conference. Winner of this one goes on to take on North Dakota coming up tomorrow.
Of course, if you're coaching Trayvon Allen, you tell him just make both. We don't have to make that
there you go. Just
now.
say, hey, you know what? We don't really need to worry too much about game plan and X's and O's if you just knock these down.
Exactly.
So Trayvon Allen, young man from Lapwai, Idaho.
As you said, a good basketball school, has been for a long time.
First shot, lines it up. Got it. One more. Teammates come up, congratulate him.
In that game I talked about a week ago against Weber State, this kid had 25 points and went 14 for 14 from the free throw line.
Well, this is the biggest free throw of his career. Shot is up. Good.
Game's over. Game's over. Just stand there. Do not foul. Don't even
look at
raise
Victor Sanders. Put his arms behind his back saying, I'm not going to do anything here.
What a hard-fought game.
Montana gave Idaho everything they could handle and more, but they will hold on and win this ball game. Wright is going to crank a half-court shot that falls short, and that's how this one ends. 81-77. Idaho survives and advances. Keyword survives, Coach.
Well, Montana tried to come back, actually took the lead. Idaho could not deliver the knockout punch, but hung on to win.
Coach, so many great storylines to talk about in this game. You got Sanders with 19 points. You had two players that ended up fouling out for Montana. It was a great back and forth game. We're going to have a chance to talk to Don Berlin here in a moment and get his thoughts on this one, because it felt like Ali Frazier in this game today.
Well, it was a great college game. We anticipated nothing less. These two teams had split, both had won on each other's court, and such a well-coached game. Both coaches did a good job. I tell you, both teams just played their hearts out. This is was a great college game.
Really was. We got two more games coming up on the docket. We'll talk to Don Berlin, get his thoughts on this one, as it really was an impressive performance by this Idaho team. Montana came back, they took the lead, but big shots from Victor Sanders allowed Idaho to come back, take the lead back, and end up winning this game by 4 and advancing to the next round, where they will take on North Dakota. I haven't had a chance to talk to this guy in a while. Coach Berlin. Coach, telling you what, it felt like Ali Frazier out there. Holy smokes.
Yeah, that was a heck of a basketball game. I mean, both teams were fighting like crazy all game long, and they took the lead late, and I was really proud of my guys. They came up with some big defensive stops and obviously knocked down some free throws for us to win against a good Montana team.
You know what? A lot of composure. Montana threw everything they had at you, and there would have been opportunities for, lesser teams to struggle in those times, but Victor Sanders came up with two big shots down the stretch.
Well, he's our go-to guy, and he has been all year long. And Vic is just one heck of a guy to coach, no question about it. And I thought we had a number of guys step up and play very well tonight. What I was really proud of is how hard we fought and how hard we sustained our effort.
Obviously you got Montana with some guards that gave you some troubles as far as creating turnovers. How were you able to adjust through that the course of the game?
We tried to do a couple different things. I'm not sure any of them worked, but we had to relieve some pressure, and we tried to screen them a little bit in the backcourt. We tried to get to our pressure release plays, and I thought some of those were successful. Early in the game, Arkady McCurchin was very good, but I thought their pressure really disrupted us tonight. We're going to have to do a lot better job against North Dakota tomorrow night.
I know it's early and you're going to go to the film room and break down North Dakota even a little bit more, but what do you expect out of this game?
Well, North Dakota's really good. We know that. They handed it to us big in North Dakota a few weeks ago, a month ago, and what we got to make sure we do is we got to stop them in transition. We can't allow them to score 80 points. When they score 80 points, they win. It's that simple.
Pretty simple, Coach. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Don Verlin, coach of the Idaho Vandals. They survive, and again, keyword survive and advance. They move into the next round where they'll take on North Dakota. Another set of games coming up. Next up, we got Eastern Washington and Sacramento State. It's Big Sky basketball quarterfinal action. More next right here on WatchBigSky.com.